from Susan's Quarantine Kitchen. Happy Pride. I don't have a rainbow on and I wish I did, but it's been a great month and there's been a lot going on in the world, but you know what? We're just here doing our best, and I have such an exciting guest today, I can't even handle it. It's one of those days where it's hot and your hair just curls humid and you just don't know what to wear, but we're here. And we are here with my baking guru. Her name is Mary Kay. I mentioned her before. She's the one that lived in Alaska and like ground her own flour back when she could have gluten. And she tap dances on her desk because she's a teacher and she's just like a goddess. So she's right here. I'm gonna put her on camera. Hi, Mary Kay.
Hi, Susan.
It is
so exciting.
I am so honored that you're on. Honored? That's like your last name. That you're.
That's my last name.
Oh my gosh. I'm honored that you're on my show right now.
Oh, thanks for inviting me. How can I help?
Okay, so my recipe is kind of weird today because you were just keeping it wild. It is dark chocolate avocado brownies. I'm also calling it the freaking clean brownie recipe because it's clean. There are no eggs, no dairy, no gluten, no guilt.
Perfect.
Yeah, so freaking clean. You'd think that when there's not much in it, there wouldn't be many ingredients, but holy cow. I mean, there's a lot. Let me show you and show the camera right here. Do you see all that?
Oh my goodness.
So sometimes, even though it's free of everything, it's full of everything else.
Yes. It's hard sometimes to bake plant-based goodies.
Yeah, and it also calls for something called spirulina, and I don't know what the hell that is, so I'm not putting that in. I could go to the backyard and get some moss or something and put it in, but I don't know if it's toxic.
I think you're good. I think you're good leaving the spirulina out.
Spirulina. No spirulina today. What I need your help with is it says to make a flaxseed egg, and I have flaxseed, but I've never made a flaxseed egg.
Sure. Are you ready now?
I am. I have all my ingredients.
So the first thing you need to do
Okay.
to make a flaxseed egg is to check to make sure that your flaxseed is ground. If it's not ground, then you're going to want to grind it in your coffee maker.
Ooh, I didn't
Your
even...
coffee grinder.
Or if you're hardcore like you, Mary Kay, you probably did it in like a mortar pestle.
Mortar and pestle and mortar. Okay.
Check it out.
Perfect.
Okay, well, mine happens to be ground, so we're good.
Oh, 3 tablespoons of water.
Okay, I got that right
and
here.
1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed.
Okay, here we go. And then does it like bubble up into an egg form or what?
It's going to thicken.
Okay. How long do I wait for that to happen?
So usually 5 minutes is enough. If it's not thick in 5 minutes, then you could let it sit for another 5.
Yeah, because we're not perfect here, right?
No, and you just want it to thicken up and get a little gelatinous.
Ew. Okay. We like gelatin sometimes, but only when it's plant-based. No horse hooves for us.
No, we all want to go plant-based these days. It's just so much better for our health.
Yeah, we're just waiting for that to gelatinize. Is that a word? Mary Kay is my fairy godmother. So I come to her with a lot of questions related to the kitchen, not just because she like lived in the backcountry in Alaska. What is your craziest story from living there?
Hiking out from the trapping cabin at 60 below zero, 16 miles, and trying to make it in for Christmas time. And I got real tired towards the end, and I asked Steve if we could just lay down in the snowbank and take a little rest. And he said, no, you can't do that.
Because you wouldn't get
I
up.
said, please, can we just lay down? I'm so tired. No, you can't do that. And he saved my life. If I had laid down in the snow, I would have fallen asleep and just froze to death. So that's my wildest story.
That is just far out wild. I don't have anything that compares to that, you know. And I remember you telling me about when you guys lived in this tent out in the, what do you call it? It's not the backcountry. What do you call it?
Bush.
The bush. In the bush. So out in the bush, you lived in a tent, and sometimes you'd wake up and have mice in your coffee pot.
Oh, yes, all the time. Mice in the honey pot, mice in the coffee pot.
So
We're just all over.
you don't have any phobia with mice like my mom, do you?
I do, yeah.
Oh.
I scream when I see them.
So that didn't really help you get over that. Okay.
No, it didn't.
Here we are. I now want you to see if you can see through Zoom how gelatinized this is. Does that look?
Oh, it's perfect. That is the perfect flaxseed egg. You did it.
And it's not really looking like an egg, people, but we're just going to call it what the recipe calls it, and we're going to keep on going because we're not perfect. But, you know, Mary Kay, she just comes through, I tell you. You ask her anything, she has an answer. And I bet we're going to be calling you many times as this quarantine proceeds because I think we're still going to be quarantined.
I'm spending my days in the kitchen and just loving it.
Well, okay, so yes, if that's called good, yes, we are eating a lot of baked goods, which is fantastic. Am I exercising to get rid of that? No, not always. I love this lady.
Well, if you were here today, I would have you join me for a muffin.
Oh, that is pretty. Okay, I love you. Thank you for this egg advice, and we will talk later.
All right, and Susan, I'm just so proud of you. You're just getting to be such a great little baker and love the show.
Thanks so much. Thanks, that means so much to me. Bye.
Okay, bye.
That was fun. So the recipe calls for half cup unrefined coconut oil. Now you might say, well, how the heck do I do that? Is it like a shortening or do I melt it? And in my opinion, you can do both. Sometimes when it's over 80 degrees in my house, you go to the cabinet and it's a liquid. So that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna get a half a cup of this. I'm gonna melt it down just for ease of mixing. So I asked one of my sons if he would come in here and cut this. Isn't this just so adorable? I said, cut it in half, please. You know, there's no right way. We just have to get half of an avocado into these brownies, which does sound a little weird. Let me try to quarter it now. We'll section it. Let's say this was the plan all along. You need a half an avocado for a brownie recipe. Who would have thought? Mash that like you would for guac. If you don't make your own guacamole, shame on you. It's the easiest thing ever. And we just live by it. We eat it all the time. Oh, salt, garlic, lime is our favorite. Yeah, it's to die for. Now what we're gonna do is put it all together, the wet ingredients. We're gonna mix now the goopy stuff, which is the avocado, coconut oil, which has been melted. We're just gonna estimate half a cup. I bet you I'm really good at that. Son, did you give me the water? The hot. Good. We got the hot water. He does listen sometimes. We're gonna throw that in here too. Throw in our vanilla. We're gonna mix her up just like that, and then we're gonna add the sugar because there is sugar in this. Gonna add in now the sugar. A half cup. Okay, hold your horses. So we have two different kinds of flours that we could use. One is called a grain-free paleo baking flour by Bob's Red Mill. I really like that, but it's like tried and true and trusted King Arthur gluten-free. As my mom says, a 1-for-1, measure for measure. So I'm gonna use that today. So here we are again. I just decided in the interest of time that I would go ahead and combine the dry ingredients. You know, when I started doing these, I hadn't really watched other cooking shows because A, I have no time, and B, I just don't need to compare because other people have clean aprons and, you know, professional makeup people and hair, and I just am trying to get this done. I'm just trying to do my best. But I'm trying to make a few improvements, like, oh look, I've already mixed it. Okay, so, and we only have one camera, so we're learning all the tricks, but we'll get there, people. We will. We're doing our best. So we've got the dry ingredients. Now this is, what I have put in here is the gluten-free flour, the cocoa powder, the baking powder, and some salt. And by the way, I added some cinnamon just because I like cinnamon in my brownies and it makes it a little wilder. So then it says set aside. We will. Now I've got my 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and I don't know exactly what's happening here chemistry wise. We're gonna take a tablespoon of raw unfiltered apple cider vinegar, which some people do drink. So we're kind of doing this out of order, but you know what? Who the heck cares? Now this is just fun, people. This is like 8th grade chemistry. I'm gonna stir that up. It's a little bit like a root beer float, only it tastes like crap. And as it's bubbling, you're supposed to put it in with this. So now we're gonna add the flaxseed egg, which looks absolutely fantastic right now. Oh no! that happens every week, doesn't it? That's okay. But here we go. We are so close to this part being done. Don't forget, last step. Even if you screw up the rest of it, you add chocolate chips and you do not go wrong, people. You add these to anything except maybe taco salad and you are golden. So, what? Sorry, you said you ran out of dog bags for picking? Yeah, for the, well, I ordered from Chewy. It didn't come yet. Okay, go back to the chocolate chips. I don't measure these for sure. So we're just gonna pour some in. There's no limit ever with chocolate chips. We are so ready now to put this in, and because of all that coconut oil, it is a nice consistency. I am telling you, this looks, you wouldn't know that this is a super special freaking clean brownie mix. So we're just gonna throw her in. Yeah, we are not perfect. So you see my old pan and you see how this is gonna look kind of silly. Gosh, I hope we got all the right ingredients, because if not, we're still gonna air this episode. It said a 9x9 or an 8x8. I chose the bigger one because I'm an optimist, but I'm telling you, this is just not looking like it's really gonna fill her up. Yeah, and we were just talking about dog bags. Okay, so let's just smooth this out like that. I bet you it's gonna be delicious. See, look at that. You don't think it's going to come together, and then you just say your prayers and it does. So how is that? We're going to throw her in the oven, go to the periodontist, and we will come back. Thanks for watching. Oh, you got me in the act. So here we go. We've got our lovely dark chocolate avocado brownies. Yeah, that's what they're called. Or what I call the freaking clean brownies. They're pretty, right? I mean, they really just firmed up nicely. You wouldn't know that there's avocado in there. And look, they hold together real nice. I give that a 9 out of 10. There's a few crumbs. I think you can make anything pretty with chocolate chips and whipped cream. So I just added a little bit. Not too bad. I mean, these don't have a lot of the things you normally have in a brownie. They have a lot of other stuff. I think it's fantastic. And it's freaking clean. So there you go. I challenge you to make these. And I just want to say, you know, just do your best. That's all we can do right now in these extraordinary times. Keep on baking.